Welcome to another edition of Self-Defense Across America.
Meantime, an Army veteran confronted a pair of burglars overnight, leading to shots fired and one suspect showing up to the hospital.
This was about 3:30 this morning on Caribou Creek near FM 78 on the east side. The homeowner says that he saw two people trying to break into his car. He confronted them, then he shot at them. One suspect was shot in the leg. Police say the two suspects took off in a red car.
Armand says he fired off more than a dozen shots hitting the red-hooded man. Both suspects took off. One of them, who police say is just 19 years old, was found at the hospital.
Orange County deputies tell us 58-year-old Jerry Lee Driggers was killed after three men broke into his home on US 70 around 12:30 this morning.
Terry Duncan says she was inside the Orange County home she shares with her family when three men forced their way into the house after midnight. Duncan did not want to speak on camera, but tells us she found her 88-year-old mother held at gunpoint in the kitchen. But before Duncan could reach for her own weapon, she says one intruder put a gun under her chin, forcing her down the hallway. She says the suspect kicked open the door to her twin brother's room. It opens to 58-year-old Jerry Lee Driggers standing with a shotgun. Duncan says her brother fired once, and one of the men fired back twice. Duncan then says the three intruders ran to a nearby car lot, where investigators say one of them, 28-year-old Clarence Hayes, collapsed, while the other two ran away. Driggers later died at the hospital. Hayes faces charges including first-degree murder, burglary, and kidnapping.
First tonight, deputies are investigating what led to a man being shot on an elderly woman's property in Wagoner County.
The sheriff says just after 6 this morning, a 74-year-old woman who lives alone reported someone on property who she didn't know. The sheriff says she called her son-in-law, who lives next door, for help, who showed up to the house armed with a gun. Deputies say the son-in-law confronted the man. There was an altercation, and the son-in-law ended up shooting the man twice. Sheriff Elliott says the victim was taken to a hospital to be treated for his injuries.
Plant City police are looking for any information on the death of a 14-year-old boy. Investigators say people nearby heard gunshots. Then the 14-year-old and an 18-year-old were taken to Florida Baptist Hospital. The 14-year-old died from his injuries, and the 18-year-old is still being treated. Police say at this point, they're not looking for anyone else involved.
Breaking news here live at 5. We are looking into a double shooting in DeKalb County.
The DeKalb County Police Department tells us that this is a fight that led to fatal gunfire. They say when they got to the scene of Camellia Lane, they found a 25-year-old man dead on scene. And they say, unfortunately, later on, a 47-year-old man arrived at a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And now their preliminary investigation is revealing they believe, again, that a fight took place between both men, and then that eventually led to gunfire, killing one of the victims at that scene.
And Birmingham police now identifying the man shot to death yesterday in Southeast Lake. They say they found Jeremy Andrews shot to death inside of a home on 7th Court South. Detectives say it appears that a female was involved in a domestic-related argument with the adult male suspect. But then Andrews came over and got into a physical fight with the man who shot him. Police say that it appears that both men were armed. The suspect is now in the city jail on a 48-hour hold for murder.
While police investigating the murder of a father who was shot and killed on his way to work.
Shattered car windows and crisscrossing crime scene tape are heartbreaking reminders of Andrew Garza's final moments, shot during an attempted robbery less than a block from his home this morning. Houston police say Andrew and his uncle had stopped at this gas station on their way to work. They say Andrew was then followed out of the convenience store toward his work truck.
This individual that followed our victim pretended, according to the uncle, to be pumping gas as well. And as our victim got done pumping gas, this individual produced what looked like an AR pistol and put it to the back of our victim and demanded everything that he's got.
Police say there was a shootout between the robbers and Andrew's uncle, who was also armed. One of the three suspects was injured. Andrew was shot and killed.
This is a weekly video, so if you like this type of content, hit that like button, leave your thoughts in the comments, and consider subscribing. And I'll catch you next week.